Who's got the first question? Yeah.
Hi, Dana. I saw Jon Jones tweet earlier today. Sorry to start with a question about the event tonight, but I saw him tweet today that talking about the White House card and how he wasn't offered $1 over $15 million, and how he felt that the fight was worth more. So I just wanted to get your response to that, essentially.
Jon Jones tweeted that he was offered not $1 more than...
Jon Jones was never fighting on the White House card. How many fucking times I gotta say this? He was never fighting on the White House card. I literally have done two press conferences talking about this. These guys went out, found everything that they thought was available and possible, and then I picked the fights. There's no way in hell I was putting him on the card, no matter what the money was. Jon Jones was never gonna fight on the White House card.
Thanks, Dana.
Dana here.
Yep.
I know you don't like to make fights just hours after fights have finished, but with Movsar Evloev, obviously I can't remember what his win streak is right now, but he's beat a top contender, Lamar Murphy, who was red hot after that KO over Aaron Pico. Is he going to be the next guy for Volkanovski?
He doesn't remember how many fights he's on a winning streak right now, but I know you don't like to make fights the day after the fight or the day of the fight. But with him winning somebody like Murphy, who put away Pico in such a fashion, there's probably no question that he's the next one for Volkanovski, yes?
Possibly, yeah. I mean, again, you know, I'm not even thinking about that. The fight just ended. But yeah, obviously he's in a great position.
And something I was wondering if you guys are thinking about, are you guys continuing to monitor the situation in the Middle East? Because obviously we know you like to go to Saudi or Abu Dhabi in June or July, and then obviously the October show. So are you guys monitoring that and potentially thinking of changing plans?
Are you monitoring what's going on in the Middle East? Because we like to go to the Middle East and Saudi and Abu Dhabi in the summer. With the situation that's happening in the world, are we thinking about changing locations?
Changing the location of what fight?
The Middle Eastern fights, the Saudi or Abu Dhabi?
No. As of right now, no. I know it's fucking weird that I need a translator when you speak English, but I can't hear. My hearing's so bad. It's and if you have a slight accent, I'm really screwed. But yeah, you have any other questions?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Dana, I'll ask you about a couple of Irish fighters. Machado Garry was here in attendance tonight, and he's been very vocal about the possibility of getting the next title shot at 170 pounds. What's the likelihood that we see him against Islam Makhachev next?
Mm-hmm.
Machado versus Makhachev, is there a possibility? Is it likely? He was here today, Ian Garry. He's very vocal about trying to fight Makhachev next. Is it possible that we see that fight next?
Yeah, like Islam's coming back from an injury, a hand injury. As soon as he's ready, we'll figure out what's next for him.
So many people are disappointed with the performance of MVP. Obviously, it's still a win, but what do you make of the performance of MVP, and where do you see him going next?
Many people are disappointed by MVP's performance, and a lot of people are booing. What do you think about his performance, or where do you see him going next?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think it was a great fight either. It was a bad fight. I don't know. You know, he won. So we'll see what's next.
I have a question for you and Hunter as well. Jorgen recently talked about the fact that him and Hunter was talking about the fact that the weight classes were too little in the UFC, and maybe this causes some problems, and there were some solutions that they were talking to you about. Can we know a little more about what those solutions could be?
Who said the weight classes were what?
Jorgen?
Your friend Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan was talking that there's not enough weight classes maybe in the UFC. Question for both you and Hunter regarding weight classes?
No, they're going to stay exactly the same. Yeah.
Last question. You said that you were going to come to the UFC in Paris. We know that the Paris crowd and the London crowd are one of the most craziest crowd for the UFC. When are we going to see you in Paris?
That what crowd is crazy?
Craziest crowd in the UFC is the Paris crowd.
Yeah.
Where we see you in Paris.
Everybody says it. It's, yeah. I don't. You know the date we're heading?
September.
September. Yeah. You already knew?
Yeah, I'm from
What the
Paris.
hell are you asking me for if you already knew the question?
Will you be there?
Yeah, oh, will I be there?
Of course. 'Cause
I will
every
be
year-
there. Okay.
Every year you say that, and then you
I
don't
misunderstood. Yeah. All right. I'll see you in Paris.
See you in Paris.
Yes, sir.
Dana, just over in front of you. A lot of the top guys in MMA, Topuria, Sean O'Malley, Alex Pereira, have voiced their interest in having big super fights in boxing. Does that now make it easier for you to promote them under Zuffa Boxing? Are you interested in having those guys have one-off super fights?
One of the UFC guys fighting in Zuffa Boxing?
So, like the likes of Sean O'Malley, Topuria, Pereira, you wouldn't be interested in promoting those fights?
No way in hell. The crossover fights suck.
Even like Pereira was rumored to go and get big money against Alexander Usyk. Would you not see the financial benefits in promoting that?
That's not what we do. It's just not what we do.
But surely,
I want to see the best fighters in the world fight the best fighters in the world. I mean, I'd like to see Jai Opetaia fight Usyk.
I understand what you're saying, but from a business perspective, if then Pereira tries to get off the
There's other networks and other people that do that shit. It's not what I do.
Fair enough.
It's just not what I do. I did it once.
And it was amazing.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it was amazing. It was financially unbelievable. But how many times can you keep fooling people with that? You know, I run a business that every Saturday, basically, I put on fights, right? And we try to put on the best fights with the best fighters in the world. And you hope that the people that came to London, got hotel rooms, bought tickets, and spent all this money to come here, and the people who stayed home on a Saturday got what they were hoping for. You hope you deliver. And what I hope to deliver on Saturdays is as many holy shit moments as possible. And you don't get that from the crossover fights. And I don't know. Educate me. I'm right here. I'm drawing a blank. Tell me a crossover fight that you ever saw that you were like, wow, that was fucking unbelievable. And I feel like I just saw the best fight the best.
It just seems like at the moment those are the ones that are generating the most traction online and getting a lot of excitement.
Does it?
It seems like it. It seems like all
I would have to fucking completely disagree with you.
But a lot of the top MMA guys are voicing their want to have those fights, like Pereira.
Yeah, the fights that pull big numbers are the ones that involve Mike Tyson. Other than that, if it's not Tyson, you know, you're going to always have people that are willing to watch that, but it's just not what I do.
Yeah, no, I agree from a spectacle standpoint, probably from a promotional standpoint, the adverts, the build-up would be cool, but in terms of like an actual fight, I do agree with you.
So what I'm into is the best versus the best. What's at stake? What does this fight mean, and where does it? I mean, he was just asking me a minute ago. Movsar just won this fight. What's next for him? And what does this mean? Is he getting it? That's what matters to me. Anybody who's ever been a competitor, I guess you would call it. They take older UFC fighters that don't fight, that aren't ranked or just have big names, built a name here, and then they fight each other for what? For money. And other than that, there's nothing. It doesn't lead to anything. That's not what I do. So if I took my biggest star in the UFC versus a big star in boxing, and they fight each other, and it's a lopsided, horrible fight that means nothing for either of them, what is the point and what's the purpose? It's just not what we do here.
Controversial reaction to the actual result of the main event today. How did you score the fight? There's been backlash about it.
What was the controversy?
Well, people are saying, Lerone got more rounds, Movsar, with the point deduction.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think one of the judges had probably a draw, and I don't think there's any controversy.
Okay. And I just want to get your thoughts as well on this guy at the back, Paddy Pimblett. We're all dying to see him back in the UFC. Have you got a plan in place for Paddy?
What about Paddy being back?
Do you know when he's back?
Yeah.
When he's going to be fighting?
When are you going to fight again? All right, there you go.
Does that sound good to you?
Is that what?
Does it sound good to you?
Yeah.
Does it work?
whenever he wants to fight, we'd love to have him back.
And just lastly from me, it was announced recently Nate Diaz was added to the Ronda Rousey Gina Carano card on Netflix. I wanted to know from you, did you have any conversations with Nate about bringing him back to the UFC, and what was your reaction when you found out that he'd signed to the MVP to fight on that card?
Nate signed to
Diaz?
fight under the Gina Carano Ronda
Yeah.
fight. Have
Yeah,
you
yeah.
had a conversation with him about bringing him back to the UFC before that all thing happened?
Yeah, he came in and met with me a couple weeks ago. We had a good time, and I think Nate just got an offer he couldn't refuse. I haven't talked to him since then, but yeah, no, I'm happy for him.
Does that now rule out him coming back to the UFC now that he's done that?
Is he coming back?
Is that an issue for him to then come back to the UFC after that?
I don't know. I mean, let him do his thing, and then let's see how the fight plays out, and we'll see what happens.
Jean Silva said that he was here no matter what was going to happen in the main event today. He was signing to fight Volkanovski next for the title. Is there any truth to that?
We'll have to see. When we announce it, then you'll know it's true.
Okay, one more. So news about Conor coming back. Now we got Conor and Ian Garry from Ireland. Are you looking at a Dublin card anytime soon?
With Conor coming
News
back?
about Conor coming back. Now you got Ian Garry and Conor McGregor. Are we coming back to Ireland soon?
Yeah, that's a great question. Definitely not with those fights. But yes, I mean, I love Ireland too, so love to go back to Dublin, do a show there. And we're definitely taking Zuffa Boxing to Ireland too. But the Conor Garry fight won't be in Ireland.